Good morning. For math today, you're going to have two different pages. Each page has two sides. And we're going to go through the um, information that we started on Friday. We're looking at inequalities and writing inequalities. So the substitute is going to hand out the first page, which is the re-engage page. It'll look like this. Re-engage Unit 5, Lessons 18 through 19. Write inequalities. And you are to write your first and last name, and where it says date, put the math period. And these pages are going to be turned in at the end of the period. This is your credit for classwork. And if you are not keeping up with what I'm doing here, then I know that you were wasting time in class, and that's going to affect your grade. So whatever I'm going over and you see me doing on the video here is what you need to be doing. And when we go back and check your work, make sure that you have it done before I go back and check, because I'm not waiting. So if you sit there waiting to just copy, you're going to end up losing out. Don't do that. Turn your brain on, think, and be ready to use the skills that you have for writing equations to help you write inequalities. So by now you should have that first page, and I wrote on the board, you have homework tonight, and you have problem of the week, which is the problem of the week from last week that I did not give you. You're going to get today. And you have a homework page for the work that we're doing today, writing inequalities. Those will be given to you before the end of the period. You're not getting them right now. I don't want you getting them mixed up, and I don't want you working on homework when you're supposed to be focusing on the lesson. Okay? So your name should be at the top of the page, and here we go with structured guided practice. Remember, structured guided practice. You are not writing anything down until I write it here. So get ready, and we're about to begin. So I'm looking at the first one. 6 is greater than 4 plus a number. Well, they're wanting you to include or to write what is the variable. So 4 plus a number. I'm going to put I was going to put equals, but I don't want to put that. These are inequalities. Is the variable. Okay, I'm just going to abbreviate there. It's kind of hard to try and write that with a mouse. Keywords. And keywords for this is 6 greater than, and I'm going to put the greater than symbol. And this is 4 plus. Plus indicates addition. A number. 4 plus a. So your inequality should be 6 is greater than 4 plus a. So now let's take a look at the second one. 24 is less than 8 times another number. Well, they want a variable here, and the variable is going to be, this time I'm going to put n, and this is going to represent another number. And you should be writing this on your page. Okay, another number. Keywords. 24 is less than. So I know I need to use my less than symbol. 24 is less than 8 times another number. Times means I'm going to multiply. So make sure you make that note on yours. Multiply. And I'm going to multiply by the variable that I have. So I'm going to have 8 times n. And my inequality, 24, is less than 8 times n. Now, we're going to code 3 and 4, and then you're going to use that to pull out your variable, your keywords, and then write your inequality the same way I just did with 1 and 2. Okay, so get ready. We're going to read this first. 18 is less than the sum of a number and 8. So I'm going to underline, and you're doing this on your page. 18 is less than. Sum means you're going to be adding. Of a number, there's your variable. I'm going to put C, and that's what you're going to list here. And 8. And then looking at 4, 2 times a number is more than 16. Is more than. Okay, this part of my statement here is more than 16. And 2 times a number. This time, I'm going to use B for that variable. So you're going to write your statement for the variable, pull out your keywords, and write your inequality. Pause the video here, take 2 minutes, and complete 3 and 4. Ready? Begin. Okay, so here we go. Your variable you listed here was C, and keywords 18 less than. And here the sum of a number and 8. And your inequality should be 18 is less than C plus 8. And on this one, your variable was B. Your keywords, this is what you're going to put here. 2 times a number, we said that was B, is more than 16. And your inequality, 2 times B, is greater than 16. Okay? So now let's get ready for 5, student practice. That was structured guided practice. This is student practice. Write the inequality. And we're going to code 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to go back and you're going to complete the rest of it. So 12 is greater than. There's my greater than symbol. 18 minus a number. We're going to let W represent that number. Minus. Remember that subtraction. 3 times a number. So we're going to let A represent this number. 3 times a number is less than 21. Okay? 4 increased by a number. Increased means addition, and we're going to let C represent this number, is less than 25. And 27 decreased by a number, this is going to be K, is greater than 10. So pause the video here for 3 minutes. You're going to go back and identify the variable, the keywords, and then write your, make it 4 minutes because you have 4 problems. That's 1 minute each. Pause it for 4 minutes, come back in, and we're going to check and see how you did. Ready and go. Okay, so here we go. We said our variable was W. Keywords, 12 is greater than, and 18 minus a number. And we said W was our variable. This is our variable is A, and 3 times A, 3A, is less than 21. This time we said C was our variable. 4 increased by a number is less than 25. And 27 decreased. We said decreased was subtraction, and we let K, we'll put the K here, is greater than 10. And then you would have written your inequality again, here, 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 and here. Okay, now moving down to 5 and 6. Again, we're going to code this first, and then you're going to go back and fill in the information and complete the keywords. Complete the keywords and write your inequality. Okay, so 16 plus. Plus means I'm going to be adding a number. This is going to be A, is less than 28. And 19 increased. Increased means addition. By a number, we'll put B here, is greater than 35. Okay? So pause the video here for 2 minutes. You're going to go back, identify your variable, pull out the keywords like we've been doing, and then write your inequality. And then after 2 minutes, check back in. Ready? Go. Okay, so we said our variable was A. Our keywords again are the first part of this statement. 16 plus a number, and we said the number was A, is less than 28. Okay, and your inequality, you're just not pulling out the keywords here, you're actually writing your full inequality. And this one, the variable is B. Your keywords, 19, increased by, is greater than 35. Okay, and then rewrite your inequality. 19 plus B is greater than 35. Okay, so that completes the first page. That was the re-engage and reviewing, breaking down your statement and where you were finding the keywords and what you're going to write. Now, the substitute is going to pass out the second page to you. And this is the extra practice page. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a look at the first 2 that we're going to do together. And then I'm going to have you work individually, not collaboratively, individually, with completing the rest of them. Okay, and there should be time before the end of the period for you to start the homework page and do that in class. And then we'll take a look at the problem of the week tomorrow. Okay? So you should be able to get the page for homework for tonight completed by the end of this math period if you are focused and following along. So here we go. We're going to take a look at 1 and 2. Notice you don't have the boxes this time. Write an inequality based on the given information. Well, the first thing we're going to do is read the statement. 15 is less than 3 times another number. 15 is less than. Underline is less than. And write your less than symbol. 3 times. Times means you're going to multiply. Another number. I'm going to put n for another number. And now we're going to write the inequality. 15, I'm going to take a look at what I indicated up here. 15 is less than, and I'm sure some of you looked at that and went, don't think so, Mrs. Stroud. That was the greater than symbol. I didn't notice it until I went to go write it here. 15 is less than 3 times another number. 15 is less than 3 times another number. Looking at the second one, a number. We don't know what that number is. I'm going to call this one D. A number D decreased by 5 is more than, now my more than symbol, is more than 10. A number decreased by 5. D subtract 5 is greater than 10. Okay, and that's what you should have found for 1 and 2. So now you're going to take a look at 3 and 4, code them, write your inequality. You're going to have 3 minutes for 3 and 4. So pause the video here, 3 minutes, and check back in to see how you did. Okay, go. So now I'm going to start with taking a look at the coding and product. Product means I'm going to multiply. And the product of, and they're telling me what I'm going to be multiplying, y and 24 is less than 32. So when I write my inequality, 24y, that's the product of y and 24, is less than 32. If that's not what you had, then fix it on your page. And 4 times a number, I'm going to put that number as n, increased by 7. I'm going to be adding, and I'm going to put over here multiply, because if it's 4 times the number, I'm going to multiply my variable by 4. And increase by 7 is more than 30. So that's how you should have coded number 4. And now I'm going to write it out. 4 times a number, n, increased by 7 is more than 30. Okay. Now taking a look at 5 and 6. And I want you to read these, code them, write your inequality, take 2 minutes, pause the video here for 2 minutes, and then check back in and see how you did. Ready? Begin. Okay. And I'm looking at 72 divided by a number. Well, I'm going to put a for my variable on that one. Is more than 23. Remember, I want you coding these. If you want, you can put the division sign like this. And there's actually 2 ways you could write this. 72 divided by a is greater than 23. Or you could have written 72 divided by a is greater than 23. Either one is correct. You may have put something other than a for your variable. That's fine. But just know that where it says a number, just pick any letter you want to represent that variable. And then taking a look at 6. 15 less than a number. I'm hoping that you remembered what this meant here. 15 less than a number is less than 9. So I'm going to put my less than. But this is saying 15 less than means you're going to be subtracting. But when we had worked on writing, translating from English to algebra, we said where you have less than a number. And in this case, I'm going to use H for my variable. Whatever you picked is fine. It did not have to be H. But this variable is going to come first, and the 15 is going to go there. 15 less than a number. H subtract 15 is less than 9. Okay? So whatever the value of H is, that's what I am subtracting 15 from. If you wrote it 15 subtract H, you did not translate this correctly. Remember when we talked about this, we said it was the same thing as Casa Blanca. You would not say Blanca Casa in Spanish. It would be Casa Blanca. 15 less than a number. That variable goes first, and then you subtract 15. Okay? Hopefully you all remembered that. If not, then make a special note to yourself so that you can remember that if you see anything more like that. And it looks like, no, it's not. Never mind. So take a look at 7 and 8 and read through them. Code the statements. Write your inequality. You're going to have 2 minutes, and then check back in 2 minutes' time. Ready? Go. Okay. 18, this is not saying less than a number. Let's go back and take a look at less than a number, not just less than. Less than is your inequality. Less than a number is subtraction. So 18 is less than 2 times, this is multiplication, another number. and I'm going to call this one Z. Okay, so now when I write my inequality, 18 is less than 2 times Z. Whatever you put for your variable is what you're going to indicate here. Okay? And number 8, 53 is more than 6 times another number. Is more than. There's my greater sign. 6 times, that's multiplication. Another number, and this one is going to be E. I'm picking E for my variable. Whatever letter you picked, that's fine. And now I'm going to write my inequality. Notice they put this in words. I'm going to write 53 is greater than 6 times E. And that's your inequality. Make sure your name is on both papers. You're going to turn both of these in. This is your credit for the lesson today. And now the substitute is going to pass out the problem of the week and your SWAN homework page for Unit 5, Lesson 19. You should still have time in class, so you are going to quietly work on your homework. And then you are going, when you finish with your homework, do not get up out of your seat to put it in the homework box. Do not get out of your seat. You can put it in the homework box on your way out of class. And once you're done with your homework, take out your silent reading book and read silently. Remember, if your name is left for not following directions, you are going to have 2 days lunch detention with me, plus a phone call home. So you guys usually do a great job when I'm not here. I am sure you're going to continue to do a great job, but just keep in mind what the consequences are should you choose not to follow the procedures and the rules for the class. Okay? Work quietly for the remainder of the period, and I will see you tomorrow.